two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Little announcement here. We have no filters. We have no scene changes. We have nothing. Literally 20 minutes before the show went live, my complete Streamlabs completely deleted all my files for our show, so I put something together real fast here. I don't even know what our sound sounds like. Sarge, how are you?
I'm afraid to actually speak. I'm not sure if I'm coming across loud or not loud.
Well,
I'm not sure. So I'm gonna just try to speak as normal as possible.
It actually sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. I was running around with my head chopped off to try to get everything set up before the show. No title, no wrong title even inside the actual thing. It's the same title as last week, but different number. So welcome to Generation X Gaming episode 391. It's like we've never done this before. So I can't bring up any news stories for you guys on screen. So you're just gonna have to trust me on what stories we're going over.
Envision it.
Yeah, you can envision it. There's no what's it called? There's no cutscenes. There's no transitions. There's no old school, baby.
I'll do sound effects.
Oh, you're going to do the sound effects? Okay.
I'll do sound effects.
All right, well, we're going to go over a few stories this week. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Hackers are playing with the unreleased characters and skins, but that's not true, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about how Microsoft loses... that's the wrong one. We're going to talk about Microsoft, how the Xbox president, Sarah Bond, has set up a new team dedicated to game preservation. We're going to talk about how there's a rumor Socom game that could be in the works, and we're going to speculate on what we think Socom, if there is a game that's working, what are they going to do with Socom. We're going to talk about that over 60% of gaming in 2023 was spent playing just 6 games. Okay, 6 games for the majority of the games that were being played. After making $2 billion over 10 years... Elder Scrolls Online director says that this is one of the most successful live service games, so we'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about how analyst Michael Packner makes some stunning predictions about Xbox Game Pass. Doesn't mean he's going to be right or wrong. It's just some of his predictions that he's going to be that he talked about. We're going to talk about $70 games will go away of the dodo, believes Saber CEO. So we'll have a little conversation about that. We're going to talk about Star Wars Outlaws, the Ubisoft price point that they have. We're going to talk about Outlaws itself and what do you think about Sarge? We're going to talk about EA. EA has a lot of stuff happening. EA is they've moved some people off of Battlefield games because they're closing down Battlefield 2042 or stop supporting it. Season 7's it. But at the same time, they're also moving people from Motive. And Motive is the same people that were creating the Iron Man game for EA. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And much, much more. We're going to talk a little bit about Fallout as well. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday, or we don't do this Monday. We do this Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, weekly. If you like this, you can also catch us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So, Sarge, your first job is to make the sound effects for what we've been playing.
Do I do it now?
Yeah, do it right now, yeah. All right. So, what have you been playing in the last week, Sarge?
Well, I've got my closed off box right now. Not really deviating from this box. So I got into a new clan for Hell Let Loose since I got kicked out of the old clan. We won't talk about why I got kicked out, but I got kicked out.
Oh wait, so I didn't put that 2 and 2 together. So you got kicked out of the older clan that I got kicked out of.
Yeah.
I gotta know why you got kicked out.
I wasn't given an official reason. I heard made up stories from people that were
Oh, it's fucking-
also playing with me,
it's
but no
drama.
one gave me the actual reason. I'm not involved in drama like that. I don't care.
I liked playing with them, but they kicked me out for for not showing up on time or some shit, or not showing up enough.
This group is not really up in arms if you don't really show up. Like, you're supposed to make an attempt, but like you got a reason you don't show up, then it's not like a big deal. Anyway, point being is another good group. We played a match. I played a match with some guys a couple of days ago. I think the official match is tonight. That's why at 10 o'clock I gotta go. I can't hang around until 10:30 for questions. I apologize. We can start questions at like 9:50, but
Sure.
I gotta be somewhere at 10 o'clock because I told them I would be there. And I ran into another old guy in that clan who basically wants to play like I play, and so all I keep hearing now is put him in the same squad. Put him in the same squad, right? So it's like there's a guy just like me who's like a couple of years older, and we're talking the same thing. Like, we're talking in chat and we're talking about the same stuff, and they're like, "Who is that? The guy? Is that the same guy twice?" They're like, "This." We're about to find out, right?
Is this a guy from the last?
Nope, these are all new people,
completely different.
The internet is big, Mike. There's a lot of guys. Everyone sounds the same. I did play a little bit, of course, of Division 2 because of reasons, just to have some fun. I put a little bit of Battlefront on the side because you kept screaming it's triple XP, it's triple XP, it's triple XP. So,
triple XP.
So I got on and I leveled up one of my characters.
Wednesdays is triple XP, and Saturdays and Sundays are double XP.
Right. So I mean, it's good nights to play if you want to play. I mean, I don't have a problem with the 7-year-old game because when I play it, I can feel my cheeks hurt, which means I'm smiling, which means I'm having fun.
Right.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. When you're actually playing a game, when you're actually having fun, you're not going, is it going to work? Is this going to work? Like,
right.
It's a different type. It's a different way of playing a game.
It's the right way to play the game.
It is. It is. I cracked open the Baldur's Gate box.
Show him the box.
I cracked it open.
Show him the box.
I'm not lying. I have it.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
It's a box.
Right.
Guys,
it's an actual box. Look, it's real.
Right. The box is
box.
In that box is a bunch of stuff.
Look.
For $80.
It slides. It's real.
$80.
It's real.
$80. He gets that whole game with all the stuff inside that $80. Just keep that in mind when we talk about.
Do you want me to do like a little unboxing? Yeah, we'll do a little unboxing.
Ooh, an unboxing. Look at this.
Do a little unboxing. It opens like a book, right? Look, it slides this way now too. Look, it slides like this. Okay, good box. It's a good box.
It's got a good quality box.
Good quality box.
What have you been unboxing with Sarge? Baldur's Gate. Okay, what's that? Is the paper good? Is the paper feel? Is it hefty,
it's got that
hefty
map,
paper.
It's got that hard.
Yeah, that little.
Yeah, like a map, like pretending like it's a map.
Okay, it's
right. Yeah. I don't know what all this is supposed to be. I think it's the zones.
So you got a physical map, not digital map. A physical.
Yeah, but
map.
it's not like it's to scale or anything.
No, but it's still physical, and it's not digital. It's physical.
Yeah, I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. Well,
it's not AI generated.
Now, for you old guys, I know guys don't care about this stuff, but for you old guys, you'll know how I'm mad about this. There's a poster in here. But let's see. But let's see if you old guys. Shush. Let's see if you old guys know why I'm mad about this poster. Let's see if you old guys understand why I'm mad about this poster. Come on, you guys know, right? This amazing giant poster. Why would I be mad about this poster? Come on, you old guys know. Come on, right? That's correct, Magic. That's correct. There's 47 fucking creases in this fucking thing.
Goddamn creases.
What am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do?
You know what you do? You know what you do? This is what you do.
If you say iron it, I'm gonna smack you in the face.
But you're gonna
not gonna iron.
No,
I'm not gonna iron a goddamn poster.
You take a towel. You put a towel underneath it. You put the poster in between. You put a towel on top of it, and then you iron it. It gets the creases out.
I gotta iron. Like, I'm gonna iron a fucking poster. Okay.
Man.
Anyway.
Just saying.
Stickers.
Oh no, they're not stickers. They're not stickers.
They are stickers.
They are decals.
Whatever you want to call them. But Larian's name's on them. So you can't say like anybody else made them. Larian's name is actually on them, and this one's interesting. But I'm a little concerned about this one. Like I got Funko Pops inside my Baldur's Gate
look at
game.
that.
Like what is this?
I see a lot of diversity there.
What am I, 7? What kind of decals
Those
are these?
Nope, those are not decals. Those are stickers. Hold the decals.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, hold the decals up. Hold the decals up.
Yeah.
Decals?
Yeah, decals.
Decals.
Right. I guess
stickers.
I guess this would be decals too. That'd be decals.
Yeah, those are decals. Yeah.
These are stickers.
Stickers. That's right.
Decals, stickers. Right? Right? Is this one does this one count as decals? Decals?
That's chat. Does that count as decals? The one that one? I think it's decals.
Yeah. Yeah, little okay, still decals?
Yep.
Okay. Here. Oh, tricky one. Ready? Stickers or decals? Come on.
Ooh, that's stickers. Those are stickers.
Of course they're fucking stickers. They're all stickers. What does it matter with you? Decals and stickers.
Yeah, grown-ups like decals. Kids like stickers. There's no difference though. There's really no difference.
Right. Then look, it's actually labeled, which I found interesting. Right. It's actually labeled.
Ooh.
It's labeled.
Wait,
game.
It says game disc on the actual package.
It says game disc.
Just in case you didn't know what a game disc looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what a game disc looks like. Right. Like what disc would be inside is this a coaster? They're giving out coasters? That's great.
It could be a audio disc. It could be a soundtrack.
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. Right. Here's the game disc, and it's actually there.
Ooh,
look at that.
Look at that. It's a
disc.
physical
There's
disc.
A disc.
Look at that.
There's a disc. Look, it's not paper. It's a disc.
Yeah.
It's a disc.
Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious? They put a disc inside the package, but it's literally just paper. It's a paper disc. It just looks like a disc.
It's one of these.
You got to push hard.
I'm gonna actually
don't break it. Don't break the disc.
Yeah, there's a disc. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh,
I'm blind. Oh, I'm blind.
Oh, look at disc. Oh, okay. All right.
$80.
Funny you should mention it. Right. Look at this.
What does it say on that package?
Oh,
look at that! It says soundtrack,
Ooh.
original game soundtrack.
Oh,
well, hold. Yeah, that's right, dude.
Look. Oh, it's a trifold.
Oh, that means there's 4 discs inside the actual box that you just had. 3 audio and 1 game disc.
Wow, that's a lot of discs. Yeah,
$80.
That's a bargain. That's a bargain.
That's an $80 price tag for that box you just opened up.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's more. There's more. Now I know most of you don't maybe not have played Baldur's Gate, right? So you might not know what this emblem is, but I'm assuming somebody does.
Oh, what's that?
Somebody knows. Somebody knows what faction this is, right?
Is that a guitar pick? What is that?
Right. If you've played the first 2 Baldur's Gates, you know what this is.
That's a patch, right? To put on your jacket.
It is a patch.
Yep.
This is the kind of one I think you iron onto your sleeve. Like I'm going to run around like a gang symbol with this on there.
Iron that. That's a stitch on.
Well, it could be.
You got to stitch those on. That's a patch.
Now I have to iron and sew. What do you think I am? What do you think I am? Still waiting. Nobody knows what this is, right? You guys are all fans of Baldur's Gate, but no one knows what that is. Huh?
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Huh? Nope. That's not what it is, Aku. Nope. I'll give you the tagline. Ready? I serve the flaming fist. That's basically all you heard during the first Baldur's Gate game.
Okay.
When you went to Baldur's Gate, right? Anytime you go, you're gonna get jumped. That's the name of this flaming fist. That's the faction. And then there's this one. Ooh. This one.
I'm going to say the hand.
It could be. It could be.
I have no idea.
It could be.
The bloody hand faction. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I remember. It'll come to me in a minute. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it is something hand. Yeah. So let's put this back in the box because.
So that's all the stuff. All of that stuff. $80. $80. Do you know what
American?
Do you know what? I'm gonna throw Dolphin underneath the bus for a second because he shared this morning. Do you know what Dolphin got for $100?
A BJ.
No, he would be lucky if he got a BJ for $100. For $100, was it 100 or 175? It was 175. I'm sorry, it was 175. Yeah, was it 175 Magic or was it 100? Right. He got the Destiny. It was 300. It was. I'm sorry, it was $300. $300. He got the tower from Destiny 1.
Bring me the tower.
I wish I could show you, Sarge, but I can't because my computer's broke. It's a tower made of plastic. It's like a 3D printed Destiny 1 tower. Okay,
What,
Dolphin
like the
saying
actual like the display model, like a tower.
It's a physical tower, like this tall. Okay, and it comes with board game pawns, like the standard like pawn that the little right.
Yeah.
And it lights up.
Stop.
But it's not colored. It's just all gray.
Okay.
And it makes sound effects, I think, too. Does it make sound effects? Magic says it's $175, but I paid $275 for the game digital only. There you go. Okay. So Destiny sold you the tower from Destiny 1. They sold the tower from Destiny 1 to people.
I don't even know if I can talk to you anymore, Magic. I don't know what happened to you. What happened?
You have to give it to Henry Cavill so he can paint it for you because he's a good Warhammer fan. He could paint the tower for you. Yeah, but it comes unpainted. It comes unpainted. The paint is microtransactions.
Hey, Jemima, how you doing? Long time no see. Love your syrup. Sorry about the political stuff. Still love your syrup. I just want you to know I still buy it. I just want to make sure.
So we
not racist at all. I love you.
Dolphin, big fan of Destiny. I just thought it was funny because Destiny found a way. Bungie found a way to charge you for the tower from Destiny 1.
It's incredible.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It's incredible. All right. So moving on. The story was supposed to be I cracked it open, right? And I was gonna play it. I swear to you, I was gonna play it. Like I really want to play it.
But he didn't have
time. But I know the time frame I need, and I don't have the time. I was doing other stuff today, and I can't just start that kind of game and like go away for 3 hours and then come back. I can't. So instead of playing that one, I played another match of Dune Spice Wars. Dude, that game is very competitive. It's very competitive. It's very for the psychopaths in my bracket. It's very competitive.
You're talking about Dune
Spice Wars. Yeah,
Dune Spice Wars.
Yeah.
Rebsy says reduce, reuse, recycle. Bungie. That's it.
That's their slogan, Krebsy.
I think that's actually the code name for their next game. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah, it's an extraction shooter. It's another extraction shooter. So you're playing Spice Wars. Anything else that you played?
Those are the three. I wanted to play those indie games I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name now. I told you the name. I forgot the name.
It was infected something.
Yeah. It's a zombie apocalypse.
Infected
game.
zone infected.
Yeah. It's a top down. Not graphically intense, but like it's all based in like it's a real time survival game. Like you start off with like 12 guys, you have to find stuff, you have to build a base, and the zombies in the game are like the zombies from I Am Legend. They're like those kind of zombies. Like they only come out at night and they're all crazy. Like
not World War Z.
No, not that lunatics. Not those kind of lunatics.
Okay.
Like the ones from I Am Legend. You remember those? The ones from I Am Legend. The ones that hide in the dark and they all stand around with each other. They just twitch.
Didn't they? I Am Legend. They had the big mouths, right? When they opened up. Didn't they?
Well, yeah. Well, that's what the graphics did. Yeah, but they're supposed to be humans. But mutated.
Yeah, mutated.
They're humans, but they're mutated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one I was gonna play, and then there was the other one. The gun game. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie thing, and I'm the gun store owner, and I make guns.
You showed me this. It's like
it's actually very cool.
Did you buy it?
No, you could just play it. I tried it out.
Just play it.
Well, there was a demo on one of the sites I tried just to try it out, but I don't know if it's on Xbox. I think it's just PC.
So you're a gun shop owner in a post-apocalyptic zombie world?
Yeah, and you basically have to buy the parts and assemble the guns, and people come in and buy the guns from you.
So all you're doing, you don't go out and kill anything.
You're making the guns.
You just make the guns for That sounds like a game right up my alley.
Right, you make it, but as the game progresses, people try to rob you, and then you have to stop them from robbing.
Can I shoot them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can shoot them. You're the gun owner. Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like right up my alley. I should definitely play this on.
It's just listen. It's different. I'll just say that it's different. Like how many zombie apocalypse games do you know? Right, a lot. And this one.
So the game's premise is I'm a shop owner in a post-apocalyptic world,
and you're making the guns for people in the post-apocalyptic world that goes out and kills zombies. Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought it was. I like stuff
I'm
like
being,
that.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious. It sounds interesting.
I like when they do different shit. I like when they do different shit.
I mean, look, I took your recommendation on Unpacking last year or 2 years ago. It's a fantastic game.
I mean,
It was a good
story,
game.
it's a story about a confused woman who grows up not knowing who she should love and kept moving throughout her life. It's an interesting story.
Good game. Unpacking was a good game. I'm waiting for the sequel, Repacking, and then the zombie post-apocalyptic. This sounds good. So I'll have to look that up.
I'll be honest. I want to play State of Decay 2 again with people, but I still don't think the game is stable enough. I'm hoping for State of Decay 3 to come out and be stable for multiplayer.
Just throw all that out the fucking window, Sarge. That's not happening. There's rumors that they're going to show State of Decay 3 this year, which is 5 years after they first showed it. Okay, and I guarantee you, if and when it comes out this year or next year, it'll be broke, buggy, and unfinished for at least 18 months after it comes out. 100%.
I mean, I liked the way that game was constructed, the way State of Decay was just constructed. You can play all by yourself. You have guys that you level up, and if they die, they're permanently dead. So it gives you risk and reward, right? The more you use the guy, the more skills he learns. But if you get caught in a bad situation, you can die. And then even better, your friends from their games can come in with their characters, and the same thing happens. You can hang out with your friends and trade off gear, or your friend's guy might die in your game.
I mean,
right?
I did like that. You can die in State of Decay 2. You can die.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you've got a badass character, and someone trolls accidentally, right? Remember we used to play with John. John used to accidentally start trouble, right? And all of a sudden there'd be like hordes of things coming at us.
Yeah, all you would hear is his laughing.
Yeah.
You're like, why? Stop! He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to. I just found the clip the other day. I was cleaning up my hard drive and stuff.
The ambulance?
No, I didn't find that one yet.
Oh.
I found the other one where we were at a house. We were taking care of a horde. I forget what it was, right?
Yep.
And I'm outside, and I'm like, hold on a second, I'll get him. And I run into the car, and John's in front of me, and I move the car ahead, and he dives out of the way, and I hit this fence, and I go up on the thing, and then it's like tilting sideways. The car's being attacked by like a horde of stuff. He throws a Molotov cocktail, and then everything just goes on fire, and I'm on fire inside the car, and you just hear him laughing the entire time, and then I hear you laughing because you're like, what the hell happened? And I was just hysterically. That game is just a blast to play when you do stupid shit like that.
But that's okay. So once again, there are games that don't reach the top of the charts, but are completely and totally fun. That's just fun.
I went to go kill a zombie, and I ended up getting the car stuck, and then it set myself. Well, he set me on fire, and everything was burning. Yeah, you never played.
Never played State of Decay 2, Magic. See, I told you, time is a factor, man.
Yeah, it's
time is a factor.
Here's the thing: State of Decay 2 has been out for years, and they still update it. They just made a huge change like 6 months ago to the game. So it's a real fun game. They added a whole nother map to the whole section, stuff like that.
Yep.
They added more hordes to not the hordes, blood. What are they called? Blood.
It's like a over the top zombies of bloodlust or blood something.
Yeah, something they added.
They're more infectious.
Yeah, Paul says 36 updates. There you go. Dave says they redid all the maps. Blood Plague. Thank you very much, Dave. Yeah. It's a fun game. Maybe we'll play it one Wednesday. Maybe me and Sarge will play it one Wednesday night.
Absolutely survival game, Magic. Limited supplies. You have to make sure when you clear out an area, they don't get any more stuff. You got to move on to a different area. So you have to map out where you're gonna go, so you don't put yourself in a position where you're too far away from like where your base is looking for things.
Sarge, you have Starship Troopers, right?
On the PC, yes.
Yeah. All right. We'll play that one week too because they did an update with new classes and stuff like that. All right. So that's what you played. I played a couple of games. I played some Star Wars Battlefront 2. I went back and started playing a little bit of Fallout 76. Okay. Fallout 76 had a couple of updates. It took me a while to get into Atlantic City. We got to Atlantic City, and I was getting owned. Like, I was just dying left and right. I couldn't do anything. And then I ended inside the casino.
What's inside Atlantic City that's so hard?
Well, I'm level 100 or 92, and I'm going up against.
So what's owning you?
They were destroying me. Like, guy with a Gatling gun would come over. I had like 15 to 20 guys surrounding me, and they were all just shooting at me. And what pissed me off the most about it, would show you, but I can't. So I have the Chinese armor, right, where I'm invisible.
Stealth armor.
Yeah, the stealth armor, right? So I'm invisible, and I'm walking around, and I'm like sniping people. I'm doing a lot of damage. But then all of a sudden, they come running over to me, and they know where they are. And I'm like, come on, bro. There was this one lady that wasn't even in the same room as me. Okay, the door is shut. I killed somebody. All of a sudden, it's like, I hear you. Opens the door. I'm hiding in a corner. It comes running through the door. It comes running at me and just stabs me and kills me. And I'm like, what the hell? Because my armor is real low when I'm stealth, right? I don't have a lot of armor. So I can either run around in the Brotherhood of Steel armor or I'm invisible. But I know it's hard to say this, but Fallout 76 is a really fun game. There's so much content to do. And with the show out right now, they're doing updates for all the Fallout. Well, that's one of the stories. They're doing an update for Fallout 4 that comes out later this month. Fallout 76 has got some gear and stuff, the kit that you can put into the game. Fallout 76 takes place 200 years before. Fallout 4 takes place 10 years or 9 years before the TV show. But Fallout 76 is a lot of fun. They added Atlantic City, and they have the pit inside there as well. And all this is free inside the game. You don't have to pay extra for all this. So you have the base game, you have the pit, you have Atlantic City. Lots of stuff to do. They had new locations in the old map already. Now there's NPCs everywhere. There's different missions, different things to do. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's what I was playing with Fallout 76. Like I said, Star Wars Battlefront 2 I was having fun with. There was something else I played. Oh, Helldivers. Helldivers, we played last night with Kingard and Argus and Travis. And that game, man, is just a blast to play. They just updated where earlier this week, or this weekend, I should say, the community beat the automatons, right? So they're all dead. All the robots were gone. And then Monday came around, and obviously Arrowhead came back to the studio, and they're like, congratulations, you guys beat the automatons, and you're allowed 1 minute extra on your break today, right? As part of the lore or whatever. And then literally full force, the automatons did a full force blunt attack, and it's just hordes of waves of them. So you go there, and just waves and waves of guys attacking you.
Did they give the automatons a giant robot yet?
They have flying turret ships now. They also have like an AT-AT type of walker that comes in on the higher difficulties.
Okay.
Lots of little cool things they're doing. They've added more stratagems now and different weapons. They just added another war bond 3 weeks after they added the last one with different types of gear and different grenades and stuff. Let me tell you something, man. This game's been out, 2 months?
Has it been 2 months already?
It's been 2 months, I believe. And the way they're doing a live service game without doing a live service game, I mean, it is a live service game, but no roadmaps. They're just doing their thing. They just keep adding stuff to it. And this is everyone's looking at this right now. Everyone that's sitting on their ivory towers is looking down, like Android Wilson and Bobby Kotick would be if he was still with Activision. They're all looking down going, do you see this motherfuckers coming in here? We have all these games that have been here, and this guy comes in. This game didn't cost $250, $300 million. This thing's making money. What are we doing? We got to do what they're doing. So everyone's going to copy what Helldivers is doing. 100%.
100%.
So much so that Fallout 76 switched their season pass. It used to be like this board game where you had to go in order, and then you would do tasks and you would unlock stuff. They said no. We're going to do what Fortnite and Helldivers is doing with the war bond. So now you do stuff in Fallout 76. You get tickets, and you take those tickets, and then you unlock the portion of the page that you want to unlock, and then you have to unlock a certain amount of things before you can go to the next page. It's exactly what Helldivers and what Fortnite's doing. So they're already making changes like that to games that have been out for 5 years that were doing something completely different.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah. So Helldivers, this week I had fun playing Helldivers. I had fun playing Battlefront 2, and I had fun playing Fallout 76. So that was the theme this week of playing fun games.
That's way too much fun, bro. You're not allowed to have much fun playing gaming anymore.
Yeah.
Someone's going to come knocking on your door. The fun police is going to show up and ask you why.
All right, so that's the things we've been playing. Sarge, I need you to do another song, a different song, to transition from what we've been playing to top stories. Okay?
Stories?
You got one?
Let me see. All right, I'll go. I'll try this one.
All right, so now, imagine, chat, top stories.
Okay. You make me promises. You can lie to me.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So top stories this week. The top stories, we got exclusive. Xbox President Sarah Bond has set up a new team dedicated to game preservation and forward compatibility. Okay. So there was a story last week we talked about how Ross from, I forget the channel that we watched, but he was talking about the Crew, how Ubisoft was ending the Crew, and they were trying to get a lawsuit. They're trying to get protection for consumers about taking games that...
Well, I'm sorry, consumer protection.
Consumer protection. And since nobody's doing it, shortly after this came out, Xbox and Apple's doing retro games now. Xbox is talking per emails received. Windows Central confirmed by Microsoft as genuine Xbox President Sarah Bond recently briefed her team on various topics. In this email, Sarah Bond reiterated to Microsoft's plans to build a new Xbox hardware focus on delivering the biggest technical leap ever in a generation. And then she also revealed that Microsoft has set up a dedicated team to future-proof the digital Xbox game libraries across future hardware, and also build a strong history on delivering backwards compatibility, right? So we talked last week about how people are trying to preserve video games, and if you're not going to keep supporting that game, then are we allowed to pirate that game after you stop supporting it, right? Because if you're not supporting it anymore, it should go up. I said it should be like the public domain, like sort of like what happened to Steamboat Willie from Disney, right? The public domain, once 95 years pass, that brand goes out into the public domain.
95 years, bro. Not 95 years. When you stop supporting the game.
No. I understand that. I know,
game.
but my point is the copyright's 95 years. You can't do 95 years for video games, obviously.
No.
But what I'm saying is for the intellectual property, after 95 years, you're allowed to do public domain. I say with video games, it should be like 10 after supporting. Like if you're done supporting the game, then 7 to 10 years.
Immediately after you stop supporting, not 10 years later. No one gives a shit.
They got to do something.
As soon as you don't care anymore about the game and you're not going to support it anymore, then whoever wants to support it gets to. That's how it should be.
I would be okay with that, but basically people want to preserve stuff. So Xbox is making an effort, but here's the thing, right?
No, the only reason why they're making an effort
right,
is because they know what will happen if France does what that guy says France will do. If they get caught in a consumer protection act where they start to sit down and say, well, yeah, wait a minute, why did you get to buy the game and you don't get to play the game ever again? What happened to the license? You had a temporary license. Tell me it was a temporary license. It was a license, right?
I think what Xbox is doing, Krebsy, they have been doing this, but what I think they're going to do even more now is that all the old games they stop supporting or they're whatever, because they have a lot of games on that Activision owns from after buying Activision, right? There's a lot of games there. Well, what brings more value to Game Pass than to take all the old games that were backwards compatible if you own the disc or don't own the disc, take all those old games and throw them into Game Pass, right? And then Game Pass, that gives more value to Game Pass, and they can raise the price of Game Pass because now there's more backwards compatibility games, there's preservation for games. Maybe they could even make a separate tier.
We're thinking of you.
Of the players,
we're going to preserve more.
Right.
We're thinking about the players, and we're going to preserve more games. But because of that, we're going to have to charge you $29.95 a month.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't want to charge that much, then you can just get the standalone edition of all backwards old compatible games for $12. You know what I mean? Like just for that for that tier. So I think this is why they're doing what they're doing, because they see the future going, well, if nobody has and we get rid of all this old stuff, how do we bring value?
That's not the only reason.
That's
you went over the
major reasons.
Yeah, but you went over the story. I don't know if it was today or a couple of days ago, where you found out that you guys were talking about the news story where people aren't playing new games; they're playing games that are 6 years old.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah. So they know that they can't let those games go because those are the games that people are playing.
That's right. So there was a news report that said that that Xbox and PlayStation, the average person that plays on these consoles is playing 7.9 and 7.6 year old games. That's what they're playing. PC is playing 9.6 year old games, almost 10 years old games on PC. And Nintendo is the only one with 3.4 or 3.6, right? They're the ones getting the newest games that come out, but it's still almost 4 years after.
I wonder why that is. What
Yeah,
a surprise!
let me bring this up.
Bring it up to what? I thought you said you couldn't do anything.
No. For me to read, right? Not for you. For me to so I can actually.
for you to read. I got it.
Yeah.
I like your computer's working again. What happened?
No, my computer's working, but I can't show it on the screen. That's the problem. What is this exclusive? That's Sarah.
I found it interesting that someone would even come out with that kind of story, and because of those two things, that's another reason why they all of a sudden just jumped on the bandwagon. That we're here to save the games now. Don't worry, guys, we got your back.
Okay, so it says here, over 60% of gaming in 2023 was spent playing six games, or playing games 6 years old or older, okay? 60% of the games right now being played with all of these people, casuals, hardcore people, okay? 60% are 6-year games or older. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, that's actually right on par for what's happening right now because your games are trash on release. So all the hype and the people saying that they're buying it, the minority people are buying it, but the majority of people are playing games that are 6 years old. Hi, how are you?
Dude says 80% of what I play is considered old. Paul says, well, the Switch does not have GTA 5. It adds a lot of average to the average age. Well, the average age... sure. But at the same time, a lot of their games that they have there are all first-party titles. 6 of the 10 games in their top 10 were first-party titles. Everything else for PC, well, PC doesn't have first-party games, really, right? So in PlayStation, they had no first-party titles. 0 first-party titles for PlayStation, and one first-party title. And can you guess what that is, Sarge? Because Sarge hasn't seen the article, right? Can you guess what game... one first-party title that made the top 10 list for Xbox?
Top 10 list?
Top 10 list of most played. Yeah. It's a first-party title on Xbox.
It's a first-party title on Xbox and it's relatively new.
Yes.
There's only one game. That's Starfield.
Yes. Starfield is the only single-player game, okay, in this list of Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, all of these addictive games that people play. Yeah, Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Rocket League. I forget what the other one is.
Yeah, but those are all live service games anyway.
Not
Starfield's the outlier.
correct. It's the only single-player first-party title
in that
game.
list.
Yeah,
but everything else is a service.
That's
live
correct.
Service. Yeah,
that's correct. Which makes you think no one's playing Starfield. Huh? Well, apparently people are playing Starfield, and they're playing it for really long times because they like the world that Starfield is, right?
Yeah, which is like exploring the universe, right?
Yeah, and just
no matter as boring as it may be, they like exploring the universe.
Yeah. So speaking of live service games, right? One of the games that they say is one of the best live service, but it comes from the director. Okay, it says, after making $2 billion in 10 years, the Elder Scrolls Online director wants you to know that the MMO is definitely one of the successful live service games. Okay, now obviously all MMOs are live service, right?
So what is it? Was it number 11 or 12 on the list? They didn't show it. Is that why he's saying it? He wanted to make sure everyone doesn't think that the game is dying. He wanted to make sure everybody knew the game was still around.
I mean, I don't know. It just says here, it says, earlier this year, Elder Scrolls Online announced that it had made more than $2 billion consumers spent in the studio directed. Director says that the figure got highlighted partly to help shine a light on the game's ongoing success. Yeah, so he's saying in an interview with Game Radar Studio, director Matt Fior says that $2 billion figure is which announced at GDC last month was revealed mostly to shine a light on the game. That's because, in his opinion, ESO isn't often talked about, and it's also a successful live service game. And he's true about that. A lot of people don't talk about this game, but yet it's very successful. It's one of the better MMOs out there, but people it's just kind of like under the radar, right?
Because they don't talk about things that are positive. They talk about things that are under drama. There's some kind of drama situation is around a game, and that's what the story is, and that's what the clickbait is. But a game that's doing well, not the best, but doing well, is not a story. There's no story there.
Right. He says there's no denying that the game there's no denying that the game has been pulling in an average of $200 million a year for a decade and doing seriously well. And they update it every year. They come out with a expansion pack and they have content leading up to it. So this is considered a dead game though to the player base that says, "Oh, ESO, that's a dead game." Dead game.
Well, To the people that are following these rag magazines, yeah, you think it's a dead game.
Krebsy says 2 billion over 10 years is good, not great. I'll tell you what, Krebsy, if I was making 2 billion over 10 years, I'll tell you that's better than good. That's fucking fantastic. Are you kidding me?
That's basically a double A game every year.
Here's the thing: $200 million on average for that game. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, that's a Call of Duty every year.
Not only are you getting $200 million on average, but it's the same game. You're not making a new game. You're not taking 5 to 7 years to develop the next game. You're literally running with that every year. You're making $200 million. That's a fantastic. It's a
good return on. It's a good return on what they're paying to do the updates.
Sure, but it's also on all consoles. It's all, well, not all consoles, but it's on the major consoles and PC, right? So it's just another
and crossplay, right?
I don't know. Is it crossplay? Chad, is ESO crossplay?
Well, I think is it PC and Xbox? I think, right? I don't think it's all three. Is it all three? I don't think it's all three. I lose track sometimes if it's all three or not.
Dolphin says, people have been telling me that ESO is shit and dead. It's definitely not shit, and it's definitely not dead. Now,
the people that are telling you that are the people that don't play ESO.
Yeah. Those are the people that say that game is like shit and dead is the people that have no friends, and they want those friends to come over and play the game that they're playing, is basically what it is, right? They're like, oh, you don't want to play that game. That game is shit and dead. Come on over here and play Call of Duty with me. I get in my group, I'll be on at 10 o'clock, right? Like, that's what it is. Because they don't want their friend to go play a game that they don't have or they don't want to spend money on. Brain just purchased me. He gifted me.
I warned him.
He did a gift for you as well.
Same thing, bro.
I'm gonna have to go in. I'm gonna have to go in and check it out.
I told him that I bought Necrom on sale when they had the sale after Christmas. They had a sale going on, and I got it at a really discounted
You could reject
rate.
it. You could reject his offer.
I don't like rejecting offers.
Well, what are you gonna do with it? You can't.
Can I re-gift it to somebody?
You can't re-gift it. You can't
re-gift.
I don't even think you can claim it though. If you already own it, then you can't claim it.
Well, I don't know what version he got me at because I got one version. It might be a different version. I don't know. I gotta look. I told him I was thankful. I appreciate it, but I told him to stop doing that stuff because you don't know if I'm buying or playing, whatever I'm doing. Yeah. I told him. I tried to tell him.
So I have it. So now I'm tempted to go play it because I do like ESO, but that game is like playing No Man's Sky. Once you stop playing, you get back in. I have no idea what the hell I was doing, what my build was, where I'm going. So it's more of a, when I play ESO, it's like playing Division 2. I'm just like, where you want to go? I don't care. Let's go do some story. Let's go do some mission. The last time we played, we just did that run where you were running around killing the dragons. You would warp to a location, and then you would like beeline it to kill the dragon with 100 other people, and then you would go to the other location and then run and kill the other.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what I was doing. I felt like I was playing Warframe. I was like, "What's happening?" You're like, "Just run, just get to the dragon."
Well, it's just like the place in the Arcane Desert where everyone's running around doing the gates. People are just doing that so they get their companions up in levels, basically.
Yeah, I'll probably go back. I don't know when. Maybe I'll do it over the summer because it might be light in the summer. Who knows? Because
the new expansion comes out in the summer.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying light for myself, for games. All right. The next thing is a rumor, Sarge. Is a rumor. Okay. The rumor is that new Socom game could be in the works. Okay. Now another Socom game might be in the works. More than
Who said it?
13 years. Although the evidence pointing to existing is fairly shaky. Okay. It says, a Socom 111 mention was spotted in the actor's resume, suggesting that another Socom game might be in the works. While it's possible that the game and the project is misspelled reference to Socom 3, that said actor isn't actually credited on that game. Now, even if Socom 111 was intended or indeed planned for a new entry for a long dormant series, is there a chance that the project is no longer in development? I kind of want to speculate here a little bit, Sarge. Let's say Socom is in development. Do you think they just make Socom and bring it back out, or do they adapt, use the Socom name, and kind of make it some other type of game in the shooter genre?
I mean, if I think about Socom releasing now in present day climate, I think Socom would come in to be like almost like a Rainbow Six It would be an extraction game, 4-player. You would go on missions, either saving people or getting plans, and having to extract out of an area. That's probably how the SOCOM game would work.
You don't think there'll be? Well, I guess extraction would still be a PvP. So you're thinking it would be more like a DMZ, like a mix between PvE VP.
All right, I'll give you the whole. You want the whole thing?
Sure.
So the game would have the game. I know I'm making too much out of this, but if you're doing the real SOCOM game, the game would probably have either 12 or 15 missions that you and 3 other friends can play, increasing difficulty. And after you do the 12 or 15 missions, that's the end of the actual campaign of the game. Then it becomes a PvP game where it's 4-on-4 and you guys are going after each other after a specific thing. Like, get those plans out, last guy win, and extract, like that kind of thing. Yeah, I would. That's how it'd be.
Yeah, I would like if they did something with SOCOM. I'm definitely would be excited for SOCOM. Dolphin says SOCOM gives me memories of racist kids in PlayStation 2 Online. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. I mean, that's how you got built up. Your character got, not your character in game, like literally your actual character.
Your actual character.
Your actual character got beat down. Yeah, I would say that if they made SOCOM, they would make it like you're saying. I could see like an extraction shooter or a PvE VP or PvPvE type of stuff. I could definitely see them doing that. I hope though. I just don't want like a redone. Like, oh, here's a reboot, not a reboot. Here's a remaster of SOCOM. Like, I don't want a remaster. Like, if you're gonna do SOCOM, bring it out, baby. Like, bring out SOCOM. Extend the franchise. Do something with this IP. The IP was such a good IP back in the day, and they just kind of went dormant with it. Sony would be stupid not to bring SOCOM back to life, especially since now Microsoft stole Call of Duty from them, right? So they could they could use Killzone, they could use SOCOM, they could do all these other franchises they can come back out with the extraction. Chat, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they could bring SOCOM out if it is true? And SOCOM is just SOCOM, or do you think SOCOM is going to be like a Tarkov or like a DMZ Call of Duty type of stuff, or is it a battle royale?
If they made it realistic, it would have to be slower than some of the other team-based shooters, just a little bit slower, because you're methodically trying to do a plan. Like we're gonna blow this wall out, we're gonna go here, we're gonna kill these guys, and then your score. It's just like that other 2-player game that you played with. It was a 2-player game where it was almost like the same thing, where you had a plan, like the bank robber game, except more slow paced, right? The bank robber game was a 4-player game, and you had to try to figure out how to get into the vault and break out without getting caught. That same principles, except military, slowed down, and more tactics. Same type of game.
Yeah, Taco. I don't want a BR game. I'm saying like I would rather prefer.
Was that Payday, Dave?
Yeah, Payday's like that. Yeah, they can say anything comes out, but I don't care until I see gameplay. But even then, Krebs, we don't even care to see gameplay, right? Once you see gameplay, we're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna get it, right? Like, I don't know. There's a couple of games and franchises that I would like to see continue on, but I don't want a remaster or reboot. I want to see it move on, right? Like Siphon Filter. I would love another Siphon Filter. I loved Siphon Filter back in the day, right? Or even Sam Fisher. What's I think Tom Clancy's Sam Fisher. What was the game called? My brain can't think of the name. Anyway, I would like another one of those type of games, right? Single player, espionage type. Splinter Cell. Thank you very much, Dolphin. Right? Like, I would like those type of games, like James Bond type of game, right? Like, how do we not have a fucking James Bond game?
Well, I think the technology's reached the point now where they could do a really good James Bond game, like almost like the movie, right?
Sure.
Right. You would do it. It would do a spy game, and it would be like kind of like Hitman, but kind of like Alan Wake, but kind of like The Last of Us. It's like a movie type game, but you're a super spy. You actually just follow the same format as and it'd be like you trying to investigate certain things, and either you find out how to get to the end, or you don't, and you end up dying, and you have to restart the game. Different paths you could take. Sure, that'd be a great game. But that sounds like a lot of work and a lot of creativity, Mike. I'm not sure if the industry can handle it.
Well, Jason says that Splinter Cell is coming back, but it's being made by a modern audience, according to Ubisoft. And then Salty says James Bond is being made by a Hitman devs. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Oh, you know what? I do remember we had a story about that about 6 or 7 months ago. We talked about the James Bond with that. Langer says, Mike, we're getting a new Metal Gear, not called Metal Gear, coming after Death Stranding 2. Not called Metal Gear? What are they calling it?
That's what it's called. It's not Metal Gear. It's called the not Metal Gear game.
Not called Metal Gear.
Not called Metal Gear.
It's called Metal Gear, not called Metal Gear? That's what it's called? Project 007? Don't ruin Splinter Cell. Well, they probably will, right?
Oh, Melrose. That would be a great 2-player one-on-one.
Oh, Spy versus Spy?
Spy versus Spy. With today's graphics, it'd be a great game.
That was a fun game. That was a fun game.
It was such a basic game. It's such a basic game, but it's really fun to play against your friend because basically you have to watch what you're doing, but you can watch what he's doing and you have to figure out where he's doing the thing so you don't get caught in the traps. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
That would be a good game to play sort of like Among Us, right? You make a spy versus spy, you make it a little bit maybe it's 3v3, you know what I mean? Like a team of spy versus spies instead of one-on-one type of thing.
That'd be hard. That would almost be like
that would be interesting.
The last Among Us. It'd be like that.
Yeah. Metal Gear reboot, plastic stuff. That's a good one, Lugger. That's a good one. Let's see. The next story. Michael Packner is a guy who is an analyst. Okay. He's made some crazy predictions, and some of them have come true, but a lot of them don't come true. So a lot of people give him shit when he says things and then they don't come true, right? Like, these are the same people, though, that don't believe in psychics, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, you can't tell the future. This guy predicts something, they're like, he's fucking wrong all the time. It's like, well, he's just a human, and he's just...
Yeah, but you understand that when you're that connected and you know things, this is what they do. So when he makes a couple predictions that are good, and they realize that he's dangerous because he knows the information before they want it to get out, so then they feed him bad information to make him look stupid. So then people look at him and think that he's only 50-50, he's not worth listening to, but they do it on purpose.
Sure. So I want to talk about some of the predictions that he's making, right? So Michael Packner, he's saying one of the things is Packner predicts that Xbox Game Pass to hit 200 million subscribers in the next decade. Now, it's hard.
Well, that answer to that is yes, but 10 years is a lot. That's a lot farther out.
Well, yeah, but a lot of this is also, it was in a video format, and what they're just saying here, it's kind of like, I don't want to take it out of context, because the way why he said 10 years and the reasoning behind why he said 10 years, I was like, yeah, I could see that, right? And especially since they are putting more into the Game Pass, even though people are like, well, Game Pass is dying, Xbox is dying, Xbox is closing shop, what all this stuff that, right? But literally, I said this months and months and months ago, right? I made a video like 8 or 9 months ago talking about how World of Warcraft will come to PC Game Pass, right? They will take Battle.net and they will integrate it, in my opinion, right? So I'm like, there's Michael Packner, and then there's me making crazy predictions. And it's leaning more towards what I'm saying. And I do believe if they could take Battle.net and shift it over into Game Pass, or vice versa, Game Pass becomes Battle.net, whatever, right? This is how they get to 100 million, and this is how they get higher and higher, because obviously they're not going just for the console base. We say this over and over, right? They're going for the broader, wider audience. They're also going for a broader, wider audience. That's why they hit 30 frames per second. This is also why they're doing in the mid 80s for games that come out, because they're keeping their costs down. They're putting a value out there with the subscription services and stuff like that, right? They're having people come back for the live service, right? Their live service games are very successful. Not for Forza Motorsports, but Forza Horizon 5, very successful. Sea of Thieves, very successful. Now they're moving it over to PlayStation 5 to be more successful. Then you got Elder Scrolls Online. Then you got Fallout 76. Then you have, right? There's like a bunch of different games that are live service. So I can see them in the long run hitting that mark. 10 years, it's a long time. It also says that Microsoft is investing over $1 billion annually into Game Pass. Okay? Think about that. $1 billion. Now, we saw that leaked information from the court documents, and they were paying, at one point, Suicide Squad $250 million to get on day and date, right? Now, just think about that. That's 4 of those types of games. Now, obviously, we know what Suicide Squad is, but you know what I'm saying. Big budget games that they can throw money at, that's 4 of them. Well, obviously, they're not just doing the 4. There's constant games coming out every single month that they're getting to bring to Game Pass, that they're here for a couple months, they're here for a year or so, and then they move off, and they move on. So $1 billion annually, and this is contradicted to the people saying that Game Pass is drying up, right? From a story we did, I think, 2 weeks ago. The developers are saying that independent developers are not getting the money they once did, which I understand because I said this before. The money is going more towards Game Pass, but for higher triple A games and now quadruple A games, right? So less independent developers will get that money to come to Game Pass. So he could be right by saying it's drying up.
But that leaves an opening in the market for somebody else to pick up the slack and then make a service where the indie games are, and then you go visit that site. That's inevitable. Just because Game Pass is not funding more independent because of the structure is changing and they have to get bigger names and better games on the service, that they're going to ignore some of the indie games that didn't get ignored before. It's the same scenario. They're just going to find a niche. Somebody's going to find the hole in the market and close it up. And let's put it this way. Why would you cut off the indie games completely when you know the next greatest thing is made by an indie guy, as opposed to these guys who've been making the same game for 10 years and don't know how to make shit anymore?
Right.
How do you find new music? You send out scouts out into small towns and listen to garage bands and see who's got the good sound. Same thing, right? They stopped doing that too. But you have to look for these guys because the talent's out there. It's just not in the AAA studios anymore because everybody's being hired and fired like a box of Kleenex.
The last one he says Xbox future includes a handheld device rumor, okay, and committed to Game Pass success and new first-party game releases. Now, 2 of the 3 things that he says there, I think are real, right? Obviously, the Game Pass success with new first-party games released, right? Committed for Game Pass and also first-party game releases. But that handheld device, I just don't understand why they would take. Again, this is coming from just a knowledge of they're not selling very many Xbox Series X's. They're not selling that many Series S's. Okay, they're selling consoles, but they're not selling a shit ton of them. I can't imagine them making a handheld, throwing money into another device that they don't know if they're going to make it or not, unless the next device, as Sarah Bond says, is like the latest, greatest, leap in technology, and this handheld is something out off the wall or something like that. But I can't imagine, because if they come out with a handheld and they're still doing this parity thing with Series S and X, wouldn't that be part of the parity stuff, right? Automatically. So I can't imagine them putting more money into a handheld when there's already handhelds out there that could run their games and whatnot. So that's the one if they come up with a handheld, cool. But I just don't believe it. I just because of the success or not success.
They're just trying to encapsulate more people.
Sure.
Right? Because what they're thinking in their head is,
but they could do that without making a handheld device.
No, I know that, but you got to think of the way they think, right? They think that the Switch has this many people, and if we don't have a handheld device, then we're missing out on a piece of that pie that Switch has.
Sure.
Right? They're not thinking about, hey, by the way, stop making hardware. Everybody's got one of these and something else in their house. We don't have to worry about it.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's stupid, because if they go out, well, what about if we take $2 billion and put it towards a handheld research and development, and then we sell a whole whopping 1 million of them, and be like, woo, 1 million of them, wow, yeah, so good, yeah.
Someone's getting a new Volkswagen,
and someone's like, yeah, I'm just playing it on the ROG, or I'm playing it on the Steam Deck, or I'm playing on my phone, or I'm playing on my tablet, and it's like, why did you make this handheld device? Because it's got Xbox on it. Like, it's just dumb. Like, everyone else and Windows literally made their fortune off other people making the hardware and then just putting their software on that hardware.
But remember, a handheld device costs a lot less than another Xbox would.
Sure, it still costs a lot more than not making a not making a handheld.
Don't forget, they like to write stuff off, Mike. They make plenty of money. If they want to make $100 million bet and they lose, that's cool. We're making $400 million a month. I'll just write that off. It's cool. Right. That's a loss.
Well, speaking of making the price and doing whatever, there's a report coming from Video Game News, VGC. Yeah. Okay. So $70 games will go the way of the dodo, believes Saber CEO. Now, Saber Interactive CEO Matthew Karch believes that $70 games will eventually become a thing of the past as developers move to reduce costs and risk of increasingly challenging AAA game market. Just from that title alone, first of all, Sarge, do you think could ever go back down to $60 games? I don't believe the industry would do that.
Doubtful.
There's no way they would take it. That's $70.
something drastic would have to happen for that to happen. And as anyone that's been alive for more than 35 years knows that once the prices go up, they never go back down.
Right. All right, so he says, speaking to IGN, former interim COO of Embracer, Karch discussed that Saber disinvestment from Troubling Group and also the Saber place in the market standalone publisher. He says, I believe that Saber, with the Incompetence studio, like Nimble Giant, Star Trek Infinity, or 3D Realms, potentially 4A games, Metro, occupies a position between independent studios and AAA publishers. He goes on and says, Helldiver 2 is an example of a type of middle market game it would like to be emulated. We were just talking about this before. Everyone's going to try to copy them, right? He told that IGN that one of the upcoming titles, Space Marines 2, will retail for $70, but only because his concerned audience would see a cheaper price as emblematic of poor quality, right? So I wouldn't put that, like, if you have a Warhammer game and you lower that price to like $50, I'll be like, this is a fucking amazing game for $50. $70 be like, the quality is just not there for 70, right? Because, and chat, maybe you're on the separate wavelength than me, but if you put the quality up, my standards go up. If you're charging me $70 for that game has a new standard. It's not, you can't give me a Helldivers for $70, right? Helldivers is good and popular because of the value of what it is for the $35 price tag. If that was a $70 price tag, you would not be selling as many copies as that, and that would be a hard sell, okay? But because it's $35, that's instant buy. And the quality, your standards are lower for a $35 game, and then when you get the quality that you get, you're like, wow, this is really good quality, okay? So I don't see what he's saying that, well, if we lower Space Marines down to $60, people might think it's shit. No, you would give yourself even more cred, because if you make a game, sell a game, and you put that value in that game, and you lower that price from 60 to 70, I would go 50. I go 50. I guarantee you would sell double whatever you thought you were going to sell because of that. Because people look at that and go, oh, the value of this game is really awesome, and it's not a full price game.
But the reason why the prices are set that high to begin with is because they're trying to make back their money as fast as possible. They would much rather get it back in the first 2 months than rather we have to wait 6 or a year.
Sure.
Right? That's the whole game. The game is I'm trying to get back the money as fast as possible, right? That's why you have all these additions added on. The deluxe edition, the digital edition, this, say, 3-day early, the extra skins, a little gun extra, whatever nonsense comes in the package. It's because they're trying to get as much money up front as they humanly can.
$70 gets you just the game. Hold that box up again that you did in the very beginning. $80 gets you all of that. All of that, $80.
All of this?
Right? $70 gets you a base entry game that you have to wait for the season pass, expansion pass, battle pass, all this other shit, right? $80 gets you that. That's the standard. Anything lower than that now is the standard, and this is what people were talking about before. You can't hold us to that standard. Well, we can, because they're giving great value. You are afraid to give great value, and this is why the prices will stay where they are, because one, most people are not, when they're making the game, they're like, I don't know if this is going to sell. There's only those 6 games that are really selling, right? People are just playing Fortnite. Why am I going to put 7 years of my time in if they're just going to give it a week and then put it down?
Right. Well, because you don't make a game and sell a game. You basically made a piece of entertainment that siphons money on me on a daily basis, and you're calling it a video game. It's not a video game.
Right. So going from that, right, let me bring up the next story from that, which is Star Wars Outlaws. Okay, they come out with this whopping hell of a you can't see it. I can't bring on the thing, but Star Wars Outlaws, I was super excited about this, Sarge. Super excited about this game. Okay, I was like, oh, open world Star Wars game, right? Obviously, I would have liked it if it was a Han Solo Chewbacca game, but I'm okay with KVS. Okay, I'm okay with it. I have no problems with what other people have problems with through the internet right now, because I don't know anything about the game except for what we know. Okay, I have a problem though with Ubisoft. Okay, and their pricing structure of this god awful price structure. $70 gets you the game on Friday, the release date. You just get the game, and you get the skin for the Trailblazer and for the motorcycle, the speeder bike. Okay, that all comes with a $70 game. Sarge, can you hold up that $80 box just one more time, please? Just that one more time, right? $80 gets everything Sarge pulled out of that box. Right. It's like Price is Right. How much for this box? with 4 discs, 1 game disc, 4 audio discs. You got 25 stickers. You get 3 patches. You get a map and a poster. How much would you be willing to pay for this, chat? How much would you be willing to pay for this lovely box right here? Okay, and then Ubisoft comes out and says $70 for a game, digital game. Okay, you can put the box back. Right, you get the digital game for Star Wars Outlaws, and then it goes from $70 to now $110. Okay, which gets you 3 days early access. The game's coming out on Friday, but 3 days early access gets you for it on Tuesday, which is a normal release date for everybody else. But these companies now look at this, and this is how scummy Ubisoft is. Are you ready for this? And I don't care how many people are like, well, Ubisoft's been doing this for years. No. Listen to what they've done now, right? Suicide Squad released 3 days early access, right? They charged $30 for 3 days early access. Ubisoft's guy, did you see they paid $30 for that? Maybe we can get $40 for 3 days early access. And they went, you think? They're like, yeah, let's do it, right? So now they've established that 3 days early access is average $10 a day for an extra day. Okay, the whole game costs $70, but 3 days early access costs almost half the price of the game. Okay, so now companies are going to look at this and go, well, what about if we do 4-day early access or 5-day early access? Can we charge $40 and $50 for 5 days early access? Can we charge the same price for the game that we're charging for $70? What about if we do a week early access? Can we charge $140? You're getting it a week early before everybody else. Week early, right? They put in some bundles in there for skins, digital. They put in a digital art book, okay, and a season pass, okay. And this is what I have a problem with when season passes, when you announce a season pass before the game even comes out. I said this earlier in my morning stream, Sarge. Destiny did this. Destiny 1 did this, right? They hyped up Destiny, just Destiny, right? And right after they put the trailer out there and everything else, they said, oh, we have DLC coming out. You get the House Below or Dark Below and the House of Wolves, right? Buy it now, $30. Buy it after, $20 a piece, right? So now they've already made that game that was $60. It's $90. Now Ubisoft is making it $70, and they made it $110. They made it $40 because it's early access, and you don't even know when you're getting that season pass, right?
It doesn't matter. It's a Star Wars game. Throw the money at the screen. Let's go. That's all you need to know.
Redfall.
That's all you need to know.
Redfall, people paid $120 or $125 for Redfall season pass. We are approaching a 1-year time frame, and the obligation pass has not been delivered yet. And they paid $120 for a game broke, buggy, and unfinished. Okay?
Listen, you know I love Star Wars. Right? You know this.
Yep.
I can't buy that game. I hope it's going to be the most amazing Star Wars game ever, but I'm not getting it anywhere close to day one. Maybe.
Well, Sarge,
not doing it.
Ubisoft has done you a favor.
Don't care.
They made the price so outrageous that you're paying $70, $110, and $140. Okay, for 3-day early access with digital stuff, or you can pay $18. All you have to do is join
to rent it.
All you have to do is join Ubisoft Plus Premium, $18, and you can play that game for the first month for $18.
Well, first I'm gonna have to find a stolen credit card to attach my account to Ubisoft because I'm not giving them my credit card number. I'm not giving Ubisoft anything at this point. I fell for that shit long ago. I'm not doing it anymore.
Right. So, look, the pricing, right? We have one guy saying that the $70 price tag is a way of the dodo. Meanwhile, Ubisoft's over here going, yeah, $40 for 3 days early access, right? Additional $40 for 3 days early access. I'm torn here, right? I'm torn here because I want to play the game, and that's what they're banking on, right? They want to play the game. So I said to my chat, I said, I will pay $18 to give it a shot, and if it's a good game, then I'll wait for it to go on sale and I'll purchase it. But I'm not going back to rent it again when the DLC comes out, and I'm not renting it again when the second DLC comes out, right? I'm just going to wait, play it for the first month or whatever, and then I'll wait for the game to go on sale because every game they've come out with so far, right? Avatar, the brand new game that came out in November, right?
Every game.
And Skull and Bones that just came out a month and a half ago, they're already on sale. $40. You can get a used copy. But here's the thing. There's going to be less and less used copies going out there because there's less and less actual physical copies.
That's correct.
Physical copy they say that you can buy, but I don't think it's physical. I think you can buy a physical like actual box, but the disc or whatever's inside that thing is going to be digital because you need internet to connect to download the game, right?
Yep.
So they do the DRM check or they do whatever to make sure that you own the actual game to play it. Okay.
Yep.
So this is the issue, right? They got you coming and going. This is why it's only, at least in my opinion, this is why it's digital only, because they know if it's digital, they got you
by the balls,
right? They got you by the balls, right? And then if you pay that $18, let's say you want to buy it now. Well, great. Now you're going to pay the $60 or I'm sorry, the $70. So technically you're paying $88, right?
That's correct.
And then if you just pay it for 3 months on Ubisoft Plus, right? You play it, you cancel, you play it, you cancel, you play it, you cancel, right? You got $54. So you're like, well, I'm so close. I just need another $16 and then I have the $70 game. So I might as well just buy the $70 game, right? And then you look at the $70 game, you're like, oh, $70 and they got the season pass and that's $130. All right, I'll just buy the $130 or I pay for the season for the $18 a month, right?
Yeah.
And then you justify
or you let the game have you let the game go out, let it have its time, don't give a shit about it, and then lo and behold, some November, a couple of years from now, the game will be $12.95 with all the expansions and no one cares.
Right. Or you wait for all the seasons to come out and then pay $18.
If you believe
that's right.
Right, because if you believe I'm giving Ubisoft anything close to full price for anything that they make, you are sadly mistaken.
So I think this is going to be a trend because EA is also new story. EA is raising the price of EA Play. Okay, now I talked about this earlier in my stream. So EA Play is raising it to I think $20 now. Okay,
yep.
It's like $18 or $20.
$19.95.
Yeah, $19.99. Right, and I said, okay, well, EA Play is part of Game Pass, right? Well, if I pay the higher end Game Pass price, now no one's announced this yet. But and I don't know if they are going to announce it. But
do I get Ubisoft?
No, not Ubisoft.
That's separate.
No, Ubisoft is separate. EA is part of.
I'm sorry, EA Plus.
EA is part of Game Pass Ultimate, right? Well, now that they're raising the price May 10th for EA Play, is Game Pass going to eat that cost, or are they going to raise the price up for EA Play because EA Play is part of the Ultimate Edition, right? I don't know what they're doing, but this is my point. Ubisoft is putting that value and they're raising the price up of the video game from $70 to $110 for the game, right? They start to price it where you look at that and go, I want to get Ubisoft Plus, and Ubisoft Plus is $18. So now other industries are going to look at this and go, well, they raised their price to $18, and that's the market value, and now EA is raising theirs to $20, and everyone else is like, well, it's just the market the way it's going. We're going to have to give more value, so we're going to have to raise the price, and they're just going to keep raising the price, okay? Because the value of the video games is just the cost. The cost is just too outrageous, right? So now they're double dipping, triple dipping, quadruple dipping, because now they're charging $70. They're getting you the season pass, so you're buying up front, waiting for that game to come out. You're getting the battle pass, the season pass, the microtransaction stores, and now you get the live service game, monthly subscription on top of that.
That's correct. That is gaming in 2024.
Yeah, welcome to gaming. Speaking of gaming in 2024, Battlefield 2042 is no longer going to be supported. They're dumbing it down. They're taking the team, and they're shrinking them and moving them over. Okay, and they're also taking people from Motive. Now, Motive is the same people that are working on the Iron Man game. Now, the Iron Man game has been rumored for being in process 2-3 years now, and now they're taking majority of Motive and moving them away from the Iron Man game and moving it over to Battlefield game to start working over there, right? Which is funny to me because I think it was called Ridgeline, and Ridgeline was another studio that was working on Battlefield games, and they fired them. They just got rid of them completely. And now they're moving Motive over to help the Battlefield team to make the next Battlefield game. Okay, so an update on Battlefield 2042 and welcoming Motive Studios to the team. It says, when Battlefield 2042 launched, we promised to bring 4 seasons of content to the game, including new maps, additional specialists, weapons, vehicles, and more. As our seasons continue, we feedback and received made it clear that the appreciate Battlefield 2042 remains strong. and we took the opportunity to evolve. You mean fix? They used the word evolve. They must have typoed there. A game that made even better for you to continue to learn valuable lessons of your own development process. Last month, we released the 7th season of Battlefield 2042. I like how the article is showing you, we only promised you 4 seasons, and now we're in 7. So we went above and beyond what you asked for. All right, so the weapons and new gadgets also revamped map based on the stadium location from Hourglass, with 2 themed events and a new weapon and vehicle to come. Okay, while we also enjoyed the proud creating these seasons, additional content for Battlefield 2042 is now necessary for us to turn from the present to the future. What that ultimately means that Season 7 will serve as the final season for Battlefield 2042. After 7 seasons concludes, it will continue to support the game with new in-game challenges, event modes, and, of course, ongoing maintenance, but it's also moving away from development. So basically, it's going down to like 5 guys and a bag of chips in there where they're just keeping it life support. This is what they're... Yeah, it's on. Yeah, the server's on, right? Like that's basically what's happening with Battlefield 2042. It says, we also, the news may be disappointing. However, it looked at the future of the series required. It became clear to us what time of us shifted the resources of focusing and fully dedicated to what comes next. So big team moving over. Motives moving over. It says Battlefield 2042 has an important chapter in the series. We'll now know and love, and your feedback is also important to us, helping us build the game into something special. So now they're taking a team from another game that's already being made, which is an Iron Man game. My question for you, Sarge, is, well, Battlefield's done, right? That's next Battlefield's coming. Do you think that the Iron Man game is going to suffer for this because they're moving the majority of the team, over to the Battlefield series? Or do you think that it's not really a big thing? It was just they were just making a Marvel because they had to, because they signed a deal with Marvel to make 3 games for them?
Well, you're talking about multiple things here. So if they're moving people from Motive over to help them make the next Battlefield game, then maybe those people are done with their segment of the game,
Sure,
of Iron Man, and they're just moving those people because they're not doing anything else at the time, right? So I don't think that's going to make the game
right.
suffer.
It could be like the art team or whatever else.
Right, whatever, because they can fill in the gaps of stuff that they need to do so other people can to push the game forward more in progression, right? That I get. But at the same time, seeing every game that's been released now for the last 5 years, I mean, I got to be honest. Like, I love gaming, but I'm not excited about anything that they say. I wait for the game to come out. I wait for streamers, the guys who are heavy into gaming, to actually play the game, review the game,
right,
tell us how the game actually is, and then from there I make a decision. But like, Wolverine's coming out, Iron Man's coming out, oh, they got this game coming out, like, and you're supposed to be like, oh, it's gonna be amazing, oh, it's gonna be amazing, oh, it's gonna be like, that part of me, the oh my god, it's gonna be amazing, is in a coma, right? It doesn't care, right? The game has to prove itself, not the marketing department. The marketing department is genius. You guys are salivating over stuff that you don't even know exists. But that doesn't show you what the game is, right? The game has to sell itself.
Right.
So when that game comes out, listen, let's put it this way. If the Iron Man game comes out and it's decent, then I'll start to look at the Battlefield game, because at least I know that Motive is actually trying.
Well,
right?
Here's the article. It says that EA Motive assures fans that the Iron Man game is still in development despite recent changes at the studio. The game will also be single player and the original plot, and not an adaptation from the existing Marvel comics. Development of this game is in progress, well under new leadership, using Unreal Engine 5 for enhanced gameplay. Lots of stuff people are talking about with the Unreal Engine 5, that it's a lot of games are using Unreal Engine 5, and then a lot of people are saying that it's very taxing, and also that you're not going to be getting games at 60 frames per second. You'll be getting, but a lot of games are getting 60 frames per second, but a lot of third-party games are getting 60 frames per second, but first-party title games for Xbox are not getting 60 frames per second.
Oh, we know why.
Yeah, just kind of weird. So I don't know. I think the Marvel game is. I think the Iron Man game is going to be good. I just think it's going to be a short game. I don't think it's going to be a long game. I think it's going to be something that was just more of a simplistic, maybe 8 to 10 hour single player game, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough for the single player Iron Man game. I don't know if it'll be as big as like Insomniac's Spider-Man or Rocksteady's Batman series and stuff like that. But I hope that these games are good and they don't come out broke, buggy, and unfinished like they've done in the past. But it's EA and it's a single player game, and it's a Marvel game. so it's.
I mean, I don't even know what you're saying anymore. Like, So what you just added all that together, and you don't think that 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3?
That's because
Come on.
that's because I'm a fan of Marvel, right? And video games. And I have a soft spot. I know it's wrong. I just said I as I'm talking through it, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for a Marvel Iron Man game. And I'm like, well, EA makes it, but at the same time, some of my favorite games are made by EA, right? Like I really like the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game. It's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I like the EA they published it, Respawn made it, but the Star Wars games that they created. But again, it's Respawn, not EA, right? So
that's correct.
Well, DICE made Battlefront, so maybe I don't like EA, right? I like them as publishers, but I don't like them as developers.
But we all know from reading the articles over the last years, the people that were in DICE originally are no longer there.
Yeah, they're mostly at
DICE.
Making the finals.
DICE is nothing at all what it used to be. Just like Blizzard, you're talking about a different group of people entirely. It's just the name now. It's not the talent, and that's the difference, right? Why you end up with the games that you think are supposed to be amazing, you guys are equating the name of the company to the talent that was there. That is incorrect. Those people are no longer there.
I forgot to do this story with the other high price tag with Ubisoft with the $70 video game with the $110 expansion, whatever, with the season pass. I forgot to talk about the Call of Duty Beast Glove, which is a cosmetic. Did you see the new movie with King Kong and Godzilla?
No.
Okay, well, in that movie, supposedly King Kong puts a power glove on.
Yeah, he puts a giant glove on. Make for him.
Yeah, basically it's like brass knuckles for him, right?
Yeah.
And then he fights. But they brought that into Call of Duty. Okay, I wish I could show it to you. Okay, so
do I have to be King Kong
before
I can get the glove?
No. So in this, it's a weapon as part of the Modern Warfare 3 Warzone tie-in with the new movie Godzilla King Kong and the new Empire. It says it's Apes Kong's new weapon in the film, and it lets you unleash energy-powered punches. Okay, the $80 Godzilla Kong Beast Glove weapon is now available. That's right, the $80. So now we were just talking about how Ubisoft is trying to squeeze as much money out. Meanwhile, Call of Duty's over here going, they're just like squeezing. They're like $80. Here's the best part, though, right? It's not just spending $80 and saying, give me the glove, right? It says you need to buy 4 separate 2,400 COD point bundles to unlock the glove in-game, okay? This is called the Titan Collection, and the Beast Glove is the exclusive reward for completing it. As you expected, this weapon skin packs a punch, and it's also a unique inspection animation. However, it does not let you equip the camos and does not have a unique finisher, disappointing some fans. Okay, so 2,400 COD points cost $19.99, and you'll need 9,600 COD points to total to complete the Titan Collection to obtain the glove. And of course, some players will have to save up for COD points from previous battle passes or in change from previous purchases, right? So not only do you not just be able to buy this, but you have to spend 4 separate transactions for $20 to then get a reward. Because you don't have to buy it, you just have to buy $20 4 times, and then it unlocks. It says, "Thank you so much for spending $80 in our store. Here's the free glove." This is gaming in 2024, right? And in my video this morning, I said, let me know what you think about the glove. If you're a moron, please leave a comment in the section down below, because $80 for a cosmetic glove. Nothing. You got nothing. Nothing from the...
I got nothing nice to say.
Okay. Well,
I got nothing. I got nothing nice to say, because it would be a 20-minute rant. We got more stories to go over.
Well, okay.
The fact that the level of disposable income for the 20% that believe that giving a company $85 for a digital product,
$80.
Okay,
don't raise
whatever.
They'll
yeah, but yes, but when you buy those points inside the store, it's never just enough. It's always a little bit over the amount that you need, so you're gonna have to buy extra anyway. So listen, I'm glad to see that people have the disposable income. I just think that people don't understand that what they're doing to the industry is forever changing the mindset of people buying digital goods.
Right.
You are buying something that doesn't exist. And then when you play the game, when they're done with the game, the thing that you bought is now gone forever. So your temporary fun, wasting money, come over to my world if you're going to spend $80 on a digital glove, and I'll get you a bank account that has 6 zeros in it at the end of a year, as opposed to spending money like it's going out of style.
Right. For a digital, it's just $80 is it's insane. Right. Well, maybe this next story will get you something out of you, Sarge. Right. Good old Tomb Raider. Okay. Tomb Raider series escapes its colonial past, Sarge. Okay. Colonial past. Okay. The British adventurer Lara Croft will transition from being a raider of tombs to a seeker of truth as Evil Hat Productions and Crystal Dynamics seek to redefine Tomb Raider in the series in order to escape the history wounded by colonialism, according to an excerpt from the official Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth RPG rulebook. Now, Laura no longer decorates her mantle with mythic artifacts. As a raider, she prioritizes seeking out the truth, and much of the game is inspired by humanity struggling with heroism and her tendency is to believe that all three aspects are important components of creating a game that collaborates history, culture, while acknowledging and respecting the work required to live in the world surrounded by colonialism. Now, my question to you is, Sarge, this is a made-up character in a video game with made-up relics inside this video game that they make the history of these fake artifacts, maybe based off real artifacts or whatever. But Lara Croft doesn't like it because in her made-up world, there's colonialism going on. And those fake Aztec Indians in that game, or the Pikachus or whatever tribe, that thing that they've created in that game, they're offended and they don't like it. What do you think about this shit?
Is that the handoff? What do I think about this shit?
What do you think about this shit? That's the handoff right there.
That's like a QB sneak play, bro. Okay, so all right, I'll start normal. I was a history major, so I got a degree in history because I wanted to be a teacher originally. So I care about history. I read a lot about it, and I know most of it. Of course, over the years, if we're not talking about it, it kind of falls out of my head, but it's still in there. The dates and stuff are still in there somewhere. Anybody that's standing on any kind of soapbox or dish detergent box or their platform shoes or hopefully jumping off a roof without any kind of parachute, they don't know shit about history. They don't know shit about anything that they're talking about with this colonialism thing. And if they keep spouting out this colonialism thing over and over again, making you believe that that's what it is, they're brain dead. Lara Croft is a made-up figure. She was based off of Indiana Jones a long time ago, and they just wanted a female version of it because back in the day, Sony thought that a female version of Indiana Jones would sell real well, and lo and behold, it did, because it was a female version of Indiana Jones.
Right.
And that's why Lara Croft was made in the first place.
Yeah, right? pointy pixel tits and all.
Right, because the original reason was the fact that they didn't want to pay Lucas to use the likeness of Indiana Jones to make an Indiana Jones game, so they just made up their own character. Surprise! You made up your own character who was female that basically is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, which is great. It's a great series. The old version, and
I am not making fun of it.
Even the redone version is very good.
Right. The fact remains is that she is now an iconic character in the Sony universe, made up. Okay, all the little relics that she looks up are also made up. Possibly some of them are based off of real things, but they embellish a lot, right? You've seen the Lara Croft movies, right? So you know what you're talking about. Yeah. But the fact remains is that now they're trying to say that the made-up character with the made-up relics has to be changed for the benefit of all, because we don't want to teach people the colonialism of how she takes private property from other countries. Like that's a real thing.
Right.
Like, it's not a real thing. Right. colonialism was a thing that happened because it was part of history, not because everybody here should be ashamed that there was colonialism.
Right.
You weren't alive
Shame.
when that type of culture was going on.
Shame.
So it doesn't mean anything to you. As a matter of fact, the person that's complaining about colonialism probably wouldn't even be alive today if colonialism didn't happen and their father didn't sleep with their mother, okay? They wouldn't even be here. So the fact that you have the balls to take a stand on a video game and say that we're going to have to change it all because of colonialism and political correctness of somebody's country is absurd on a level that I can't even discuss in this time frame that we have left in the show.
My question though is, Sarge, why didn't they just make another character that believed in this colonialism thing, that was a artifact hunter that doesn't collect artifacts? Just wants to show up to the place. Just wants to show up to the place and ask questions.
Just so we're clear, we're gonna do like a little miniature lesson here. The era, of course, of what is normally called the era of colonialism, okay, was the era where the greatest nations of the planet at the time were sending out, I guess, diplomacy plus military plus economic sanctioned
yes, Jason,
explorers to go out and expand the nation that they were from, right? Russia, France, Germany, Italy, like Portugal. Like back in the day, they sent out guys to claim resources so they could expand their own country because they were already doing what they were doing in their own country. So then their culture and their influence is spread to a different location, also known as colonialism, okay? And so then you bring back some of their culture, you leave some of their culture, your culture there. That's what happens when people explore the fucking globe, right? Nobody builds a wall around their fucking country and says, that's it, everybody's here, we're done. That's not how it works. So we're sorry that you are part of history. Anybody, please, anybody that confronts you with any of this fucking bullshit ever, just tell them directly to their face to go fuck themselves, right? Don't bother listening to them because all they're reading is Wikipedia. They don't read any book. They don't read any kind of actual history. They don't know any history. All they know is Wikipedia and whatever the channel news tells them, okay? Enough. Lara Croft is an amazing character. That's a Indiana Jones clone that little boys liked when they were younger because it was female. It's got nothing to do with colonialism, right? If they make a game where she has to return all the fucking objects, right, and she's in a bikini, I can guarantee you it'll be good for the first week, but then nobody else will play it because it's like, why am I returning all this shit? It doesn't make any sense.
That's it. It's a game. It'll be like unpacking. But it's Lara Croft Unpacking Edition. She has to return all the stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I took this.
Right.
My
I'm so sorry I took this.
I'll do some penance for it. I'm so sorry. Yes, but how can I make it up to you?" And the person they give it back to goes, "Oh, I didn't even know you had this."
I'm gonna have a stroke. I'm just so angry about this. You do understand though, right? Like the way that the people talk, they talk like that they know what colonialism is. They think that they're going to put the flag in the ground and we're going to save the world.
Yeah. Well, that's
so
exactly...
what you're telling me is you want to try to erase 1,000 years of history because you think that somebody who you don't even fucking know did the wrong thing. Well, let me ask you a question. So if I walked around and I find a bunch of assholes, and I'm just talking about straight up assholes, and everyone knows some, right?
Like actual assholes or people that are assholes?
Actual assholes. You know who they are. You know a couple, right? Everybody knows a couple assholes. So I'm alive now. They're alive. If I know that they're an asshole and they're making bad decisions, at that point we can say, I'd like to try to stop what this guy's doing because he's a complete asshole and he's ruining it for everybody else.
Right.
I would agree with you then.
Right.
But to get mad about people who you don't even know, right? You weren't even born, and you're trying to defend something
in a fake world, by the way.
You're brain dead.
Right. In a fake world, by the way. Right. What I find funny is I'm just trying to put myself in their position where they're like, we're gonna make history. by making Lara Croft the first person to ever not steal stuff, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's just fast forward 10 years from now.
Everybody
Oh, hold on.
stole.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But they want to make their mark on history. But listen to me. They want to make their mark on history. This is why they're doing what they're doing, right? They feel like they're doing something good, and this is why they're changing Lara Croft. But they're not respecting history. So 10 years from now, are they okay if someone shits on what they did and be like, oh, we don't really care what they did because it's just history. It doesn't really fucking matter, right? You know what I mean? Like they don't see. They're just like this in front of the tree. They don't see what they're doing. Yeah.
No,
history doesn't matter unless it matters when it's something they did.
I can't wait for the pendulum to swing back the other way and these people end up in a river somewhere. Honestly.
Looking for artifacts. Let's go to the next story. See, I got something out of Sarge that way. All right, so Sarge, we've been playing Destiny we played it for 6 years. I think you played it a little longer than I did, right?
A little bit.
So we heard the stories of Sony not happy with Bungie. We heard that Bungie delayed the final shape till June because 45% people just didn't care. They were under projected. We heard that Bungie's not good with money. This is news to everybody else, not to us.
Not to us.
We know that Bungie also let go of some people, and we know that if Bungie doesn't sell well with Destiny 2's The Final Shape, that within 2026, the people that are under contract will go bye-bye, and then they're done, right? So they come out blazing, right? They come out, they show what The Final Shape is, and the Destiny 2 The Final Shape on fire with subclasses combining all abilities and 2-in-1 exotics with random rolls, okay? So the Final Shape is adding a new subclass after all, but it also sort of isn't. Okay, the new prismatic subclass is a mix of light and dark, letting players combine the abilities from all 5 bespoken subclasses in their own way. Melee, grenade, class, and super abilities from their 3 light classes and 2 dark classes are all up to grabs. The prismatic packing of the new Transcended bar, fueled by dealing light and dark damage, that grants a stackable weapon damage bonus and instantly refreshes the abilities to use special grenades that combine to 2 different elements for each class. All right. It says Bungie described the prismatic as an advanced subclass with more fragments or more fragment slots and much wider build crafting potential. It's hard to imagine ever using anything else because you won't, because this is the meta now, right? Just like if they brought a new gun in, that's the new meta. Now this is the new meta. Okay, it says it also seems that only select abilities will be available via Prismatic, but folks, we saw on Arc Warlock using a stranded melees, status turrets, and triggering the Void Devourer, and the possibilities look endless at that somehow only the beginning. Now, after years, the original Destiny 2 also restructuring or reintroducing, exotic class, which they removed, and now they're putting back in. Okay, but frankly, terrifying new way with the Final Shape, players can then chase randomly rolled exotic classes items that for the first time combine 2 exotic armor perks into 1 slot, which I think I remember going, when we played the game, going, why can't we just combine these 2 things? And they're like, nope, too powerful, can't do it, right? So now the kicker is that the exotic perks you roll don't even have to come from the armor available to your class, okay? We saw a hunter using a cloak featuring exotic perk on the Titan exotic. Also, for instance, it's possible the Matrix is almost scary, and the catch is that the duo exotics are explicitly tied to Prismatic, which only makes the subclass more appealing. So, obviously, Sarge, what do you think about all the stuff they're adding, and what do you think about Bungie and the final thing that they're doing?
Buckle up.
More than the Tomb Raider one. All right.
Buckle up. Buckle up.
Don't be so close to the microphone as you're yelling.
Buckle up. Listen, I love Destiny. Had a great time with it. But then we saw the wizard behind the curtain. We know what they were doing. We know what they continue to do year after year. From articles read that power creep and too strong, and people were too OP, and we made the game too boring.
Sunsetting.
And then people would stop playing and sunsetting, and the consistent list of nonsense that we were fed because we were too strong, and people wouldn't like it if we were too strong. It would be a different game. And now, in the last death grasp that they have, because they're getting ready to fucking fold under because the game's about to end, it's now time to go big or go home.
Right.
And so now, all of a sudden, all the things that they said that we couldn't have or couldn't do or weren't allowed to do because the game would be too broken, now you could do everything and become Jesus of Nazareth, and you could rain fire from the heavens and use every fucking weapon and power, believe and you watch the vid, doc, and they were all laughing like they were having fun. Oh, look at that, that's such fucking awesome. Like, we wanted to do that for fucking the last 7 years.
Right.
But you said no.
Couldn't do it.
Because he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. But now all of a sudden, when Sony has Bungie in a fucking headlock like this, like, when are you gonna make that game? When are you gonna sell that stuff we pay for? When? When has that happened? The last game didn't do well. Right? So now all of a sudden, Bungie pulls out all the stops and tries to sell the universe to us because they know everyone will want to do all of this because they've been waiting 7 years to do all of this.
Right.
Am I supposed to be surprised? No. I know this is the quintessential cherry on the I don't give a fuck about you lying to me for 10 years, right? That you could do anything you wanted to when you wanted to do it. But instead, it's just basically the fishing expedition is how can we get them to keep coming after the little carrot? Can we get them to come a little bit more? Oh, no, that wasn't good. We got to change the bait. Let's use this bait instead.
Eververse. There's the Eververse.
Like, let's use that. Oh, they're good. They're coming again. Let's get it. Oh, we're good. We got them now.
We got dungeons. We got dungeons.
Yeah. Keep leading them on. And now all of a sudden you can do everything. Like, is it cool? 100%. Is it amazing? 100%. Is it probably the most fun Destiny will have ever been, except the first time you played it when you first played Destiny 1? 1,000%.
Yeah.
So maybe, just maybe, because you know that what you didn't work and you were failing, that you had to turn the boat around immediately. Otherwise, Sony's going to dissolve you and eat you for breakfast.
The one thing I saw during the trailer is that Luke Smith showed his face. You haven't seen that man in like half a decade.
And by the way, he's using color just for men, just so we're curious, just so you guys understand. Because you remember what he looked like in all the vid docs before when he's put in charge. Now all of a sudden he's completely dark, all groomed up, his beard's perfect. Yeah, right. You've been broke 4 times since you guys took over, and you think you got nothing going on here? Bullshit.
We haven't seen him in like 4 years, 5 years. The last time we saw him, people were like, "He's still around?" Like.
Water, everybody will go back because they want to try out what they were missing out on for 7 years. Of course you're going to go back for the moment.
Well,
of course you will.
I
am not going to go back.
Yeah, no, I don't think new players get in.
No, the old players are going back.
Yeah, the old players for sure. If they're gone 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, they're coming back
for the last big hurrah.
Yeah, they're coming back
for the last big hurrah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
And there's a new faction, by the way.
I saw the new faction. Yeah, no, no, Water. We're not coming.
We're busting it out. We're busting it out. You didn't see the new faction. We're busting out a new faction. You didn't see the.
Yeah, no.
We got the new guys. Guys flying around.
The next time I played Destiny,
the guys are flying around with the wings and the guns. You see that?
The only time I would go back to play Destiny, I would go back to play Destiny 1 if Sarge wanted to play on a Wednesday, and just reminisce as we go back to the very start a brand new character and play in Destiny 1 and just go through that just for fun for one night.
Listen,
that's the closest I would ever get to play Destiny.
I am happy for everybody who has waited for the day where Bungie finally stopped lying to your face and do what we all wanted them to do the entire time they released those classes. Why can't we use them all together? Why can't we use the weapons with this? Why? And we got told over and over again. So I'm happy for everybody that stayed in for as long as they did, and you finally get the Christmas gift you were promised that's been held from you for 7 years. Congrats! I'm happy for you.
Melrose says, but how long? Maybe 8 weeks? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long, because once they get your money, it doesn't matter, Melrose.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I want to bring up
this will probably be the highest selling game Bungie has ever released. I think it'll probably be Taken King.
Oh, maybe.
I'm telling you. Yep.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
That would be hard. That's a hard.
I don't know, man.
I honestly think a lot of people. I think a lot of people are coming back, but I think also a lot of people are fucking just burnt and they don't want to deal with it.
Burnt. It doesn't matter if you're burnt. You're talking about disposable income for a couple weeks. Let's go out with a bang. Let's see the end. Let's see the end of the game that I loved and grew up with. It's been 10 years, bro. People who've been playing this game have been playing for a decade.
The problem though that I see is if this was where if you kept all the stuff, like right now we can go back and play Destiny 1. We can play all of Destiny 1, right? Beginning, middle, end, we can play the whole thing. Okay? All the DLCs, all the stuff, Destiny 1. If Destiny 2 was the same way where you could play from beginning to end, 100% more people would have bought it because they want to complete their set. They want to complete the set on the wall. They want to complete the store. But there's so many people that are like, they're lost because if you stopped after year 5 or year 6, that stuff in the game is not there. You have to go watch a YouTube video of Bife telling you what's happening in the game just so you can catch up to then finish it out. So I think a lot of people are going to come back and play it, but I don't think more than Taken King. No way. No way. I don't believe it.
You don't have to look it up right now. We'll get the numbers for Taken King. How many people?
They don't have the numbers. They never show any numbers. But Taken King was literally the saving grace of Destiny 1.
I'll be able to find some stats.
And Forsaken was the saving grace for Destiny 2. Right? So, I don't know.
Do you see how much stuff they gave you? The exotic gear. They're bringing back the weapons that they took away from you. All the classes can merge together, like the stacking of all the cool factor on top of the cool factor on top of the cool factor. Then you get to farm for like the exotic piece, and now you can put your own thing on top of the exotic piece. It's the cherry on top of the cherry on top of that cherry. Jesus Christ! It's the best thing ever. Of course, they're coming back, bro. They're coming back. They're coming back.
All right, I want to go over this one last thing. Grums from Twitter, he has this thing. Now, Grums, you guys don't know, he's doing this. He's the only developer out there. He worked on World of Warcraft, worked with Blizzard. Say what you want about the guy, but he has a plan on how to save AAA gaming. Okay, and I thought this was funny, right? And you can say take what you want from this, but on Twitter he posts, "We can fix AAA games." Okay, he says you could fix AAA games. He says my foolproof plan. If you take action on today, a very short plan because it's simple. He says AAA games are overrun with woke politics, lousy live service where it doesn't belong, $130 Ubisoft quadruple A games, and ugly female characters for no reason. He says there are two main causes for this: ESG-based funding and fleets of activist game devs. He says hitting from the top bottom. Okay, he says, but ESG funding is drying up. He says my CEO and studio head sources tell me have to make real money now, and games can't be propped up by DEI funds. This is the time to strike. He says, to keep the push on woke politics and lousy gameplay while charging us more for it, I'm calling on all gamers for 2 years, okay? He says, on not buying AAA games made by woke studios. He says, this will make the executives take notice. This attacks the core problem at the top of the gaming. He says, where is it? Play your old Steam games, your old Steam library games. He says you have years of them that you bought on sale. You'll never have to play or pay for a new game again. He says, or back AA indie games. He goes, but do not buy the new AAA games. He says, as a vote, as the vote with your wallet, sales will plummet even further. He says, I promise. Every gaming CEO will notice. And now it's time to handle the fleets for developers, activists who are ruining our favorite IPs. As sales plunge, there's also a pressure on studios to trim the fat. Force sales so low on woke AAA games that they must lay off 20% of the lowest performing staff. He says, why does this work? Because activists trend to have the lowest performance in companies. AAA teams are bloated with them. And they're already doing this, and they do the least amount of work on the teams. He says, all my sources tell me this is already happening, but you can accelerate it. You don't need them, right? He says, so stop buying AAA games for just 2 years. I promise you will change everything. You solve the exclusive money problem. You solve the activist problem. You hit them at the top and the bottom, and then you will resort to AAA. You'll resort to AAA games. That's it. That's my plan, and I'm giving you it now, right? And
I've been doing it. I've been doing it for 3 years.
Yes, we've been saying it for years. You've been doing it for years.
I've been doing it.
Yeah,
for
you've
3
been doing
years.
it for 3 years, right? Like, just don't buy, right? Jason says stop 30 ESG doesn't exist. Buy RoboCop Rogue City instead. Great game. RoboCop, fantastic game. Yeah. So he puts it out there, right? If you think that there's wokeness out there, regardless whatever you think, if you don't like something, right? I'm not going to go political with this, but if you don't like a game, if you don't like a company, if you don't like something, don't purchase it. If you purchase it, it doesn't matter if there's microtransactions. You don't like microtransactions and your game that you just bought has microtransactions in it, but you are not participating in those microtransactions.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You bought that game and they look at it and go, see, we put microtransactions in this game and it's selling. And that's all they look at. They look at the positive, not the negatives. They don't care about the negatives. So if someone says to you, like my chat, right? If someone puts something in the chat that I don't like, I don't read it. I just look at the positive stuff. I don't look at the negative stuff. That's exactly what they do for video games and everything else, right? They look at the positive reviews. They don't look at the negative reviews. They look at the people that are buying their game, not buying their game, right? They don't care about the people that are not spending money. They're trying to get the money out of the people. PlayStation does this, right? You bought a PlayStation 5. How do I get more money because new people are not buying it? How do I get more money out of the people that are buying it? PSVR 2. The portal, right? They know the people that are going to pay for the stuff that they're giving, and that's what they do. That's the clientele. So with video games, with the microtransactions, if you don't like, don't buy. We are the power. We have the power. The reason EA is a quadruple A studio and Activision Blizzard as big as it was and all these companies are big as they are is because we bought their games and made them as big as they are because they have to keep growing. And we can knock those companies down and we can knock them down a peg because you don't have to buy the stuff that you don't like. That's it. If you guys have any questions, we got about 8 minutes before Sarge has to go. So if you want to put questions in the chat, just put at 30NSG and I'll read it. If I don't want to read it, I don't have to.
It's just so much. It's so much nonsense at this point, right? What kind of thing do we have to say like over and over again? Like just stop buying it. Like you see how fast they turn if you don't buy a game. It goes on sale immediately. Now imagine not buying it at all. Imagine what would happen to an entire development team or the studio or the publisher if you didn't buy it at all.
Right. Yep. Done. Make a game, sell a game. Right.
That's it.
Krebsy says 18 of the 23 seasons gone. 5 raids gone. 2 expansions gone. 5 planets gone. Years worth of weapons gone. But I can still get that $200 jacket. There you go. Yep.
What an awesome jacket it is, too, Krebsy. And don't forget about Magic's light up tower.
Well, to be fair, he's not the only one that bought the tower. There's a lot of other people that probably bought the tower.
I know.
You got to look it up, Sarge. I'll send it to you on the phone later. You got to look up the
I don't know if I want
3D
to.
printed tower.
I mean, so it's a third party, right? Somebody just made the tower.
No,
themselves
they probably made it
and
themselves. They probably made it themselves.
Yeah, but it's only gray. It's not painted.
It's just gray. Yeah.
Yeah, which means it's a third party.
And they say they have like lights and sound effects, and they might put magnets in there. So like you have a certain character, you put them somewhere, it might unlock a door or something in there.
Listen, everybody's got all their little toys and gadgets, man. I had a bunch of toy gadget things. I'm not making fun of the kid.
I like how they say don't make fun of Magic Tower, like it's a Magic Tower. No, it's Magic's Tower, but it sounds like a clubhouse. Can I join Magic's Tower? Can I come to Magic's Tower?
We've reached some kind of like Bermuda Triangle of gaming, man. It's disturbing what's going on right now.
Hashtag Magic's Tower.
Like you know something's afoot when a person independently says, "Hey, I found out that these people are involved in these games, so I'm just going to make an article that says these people are involved in these games," which is a fact, not an opinion. And it's not even a negative opinion. It's just saying, hey, these guys worked on these games. That's it. And the minute he did that, he was hit with injunctions, lawsuits, all kinds of things, because all he did was let people know that this guy was involved in this game.
Yeah,
anybody can do that. But when people jump, when people jump at that because you did that, then you know something's wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, It's unfortunate for it's unfortunate for a lot of the stuff that's happening. And like there's games that come out that are free to play and they're fantastic and there's microtransactions. But people are okay with it because it's free to play. They didn't pay $70, $80, $110 to get the game. Like the game's complete. Like you play it and they keep adding to it for free, right? And they're just adding cosmetics, right?
I don't like the whole thing of it.
No, I get that.
The whole thing for free. It's not for free, right?
No, you're
sell
buying
me
$20
a
cosmetics. Yeah, you're
Sell me a product. Sell me
Right.
a product.
But now the single player games are getting more and more. More and more single player games are coming out with the microtransactions, the store. Now the new thing is 3-day early access, 4-day early access, 5-day early access, and they charge as much much as the game. So there's a lot of people doing it. Magic would make us all pay rent. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Who's getting this lawsuit? They're trying to sue Cabrutus, I think his name is, the guy from Brazil. They're also trying to sue Edemion for referencing facts and news stories. I think they're also trying to sue the Quarterling. I think the Quarterling is trying to get sued. Someone else is trying to get sued as well. Grums, I think, is getting sued or trying to get sued as well. So lots of people. How do you cease and desist? I think they were got, or otherwise they go to court. How long do you think Bungie will spend on Destiny 3 development? 13 months. 13 months, just like they did for Destiny 1, and then fix it 18, 24 months afterwards. Yeah, nothing will change. Nothing will change because actually it's even more, it's easier now because now they have the design and stuff that they wanted to use, right? So that's what I think.
The last AAA. I think, in all honesty, the last AAA game I bought was Marvel's Avengers.
I was going to say Marvel's Avengers, yeah.
If Avengers considered a AAA game, if it is considered a AAA game, then that's the last one I bought.
Well, technically,
if you don't consider Marvel's Avengers a AAA game, then I think I have to go further back.
Well, no. The game
I'm pretty sure
you didn't buy it. I bought it for you.
I didn't buy that.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 would be the one.
And then I don't think Spice Wars is a AAA game. I'm not
No.
sure. Well, first you have to establish the definition of what AAA is. It has to be over a certain dollar amount, right, for development.
Well, it's changed, yeah, but basically, yeah, it's like over $75 million budget, but that thing gets changed now.
So Marvel's Avengers. Everything else I've gotten either on sale or on Game Pass. I mean, Spice Wars. I'm not sure if you consider Spice Wars a AAA, and it's not a hard copy; it's digital, right? Because I got it on the PC.
Dolphin said, "You can all live in the tower. You can all live in the tower for free, but you'll have to play Destiny with me."
Yeah. Like, because in all honesty, Mako, there's not really any games now that are hard copy, right?
You got to remember,
everything's digital. Everything's digital.
You got to remember, Makoki. He also has Game Pass, and there are AAA games he's played, but he hasn't paid for them. You know what I mean? He hasn't paid full price for them. Like he played Starfield.
He said buy. He said buy.
No, I understand that, but he said he said rough one to end on. But he's
I'm upset by it.
You've played other AAA games. You just didn't pay for them. Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah,
yep. I mean Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
You didn't buy Starfield.
That's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's a Game Pass. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the last AAA game I bought was. Well, I didn't buy Suicide Squad. It was gifted. I'm trying to think the last AAA game I bought.
Dude, are you talking about Battle for Middle Earth? Are you talking about Battle for Middle Earth 2? Is that the game you're talking about?
The last one I bought last AAA game I bought was Diablo 4. I think is the last one I bought.
I didn't even know that game. I didn't even know that game can still be played. I thought it doesn't work anymore. I looked for it on PC. Is it there again inside the Steam library? Oh yeah, because I wanted to play that for a while. I didn't know you could play that game anymore.
You could play the Star Wars one if you want too.
Well, he's talking about the Middle Earth 2, the real-time strategy game.
I understand that.
I love that game. I didn't know you could play it. I thought you could not play that game anymore.
No, I'm pretty sure you can.
Are you being serious?
I'm pretty sure. Oh god.
I did not know that you could play that.
Let's see here. Sarge, you own a Switch? No, he doesn't own a Switch.
No, I did not buy Skull and Bones.
Not many people did.
What was the last game I bought and I thought this was worth it?
I thought Diablo was worth it for the story myself. I thought that was worth it.
like when you say worth it, meaning like no regrets at all? Is that what you mean by worth it? Is it? I'm trying to understand what you say was worth it. Like worth the money or no regrets. Like I bought it and like didn't care about the money I paid for it. It was worth it. Like no regrets.
Oh, Division 2. Right? Division 2.
Well, I'm trying to understand his definition first.
Elder
before I can answer it.
Scrolls.
Because for me, Fallout 4.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Sarge. This month, Fallout 4 is getting an update. They're getting a graphically update and stuff for Xbox and whatnot. April
Really?
26th. Yep. They just announced it today.
Graphical enhancements?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to take some video.
Yep.
Before and after.
Yep. They just announced it today.
I think the full price game. I think Fallout 4. Fallout 4. I paid for full. I remember going to the store early. I remember staying home from work. I remember playing that game for like 4 days straight. No regrets. Fallout 4. Because I love post-apocalyptic.
Oh, real quick, Sarge. Right. Well, okay. Fallout 4 is getting a free update. It's got the 60 frames per second experience. Fallout 4 players on PlayStation 4, Xbox One will also receive a free update, stabilizing improvements, login, and quick fixes. Yeah, you're getting a performance mode, quality mode settings, as well as stability improvements and fixes, and at 60 frames per second. And the last thing we'll talk about real fast, and you have to go.
Don't just skim over that. Am I getting 60 frames?
Yeah, 60
on
frames.
my Xbox Series X
Yes,
for Fallout 4?
Yeah, I said 60 frames. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't watched it yet, Dave. I'm gonna watch it. I think Sunday.
I was just gonna say, Fallout TV series. I watched the first episode and half of the second episode, and let me tell you.
Oh shit! It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it is solid. The first episode, solid. Yeah.
Well, let's hope. Let's see what they do.
So we'll see what the rest of the episodes do, but very good.
Okay.
So, all right, Sarge has got to go, and so that'll do it. Episode 391 is in the can. We do appreciate your coming out for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast. It goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'll try to fix this weekend, so next week we'll have all the stuff back and at normal. I have to redo everything for this podcast. I appreciate it very much. If you'd like to listen to us after the fact, you can listen to us right here on iTunes, or on YouTube. And you can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is listened. We appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. I will not be on Lono's show tomorrow because I have to chaperone my son's field trip that they're going to Ripley's, believe it or not, and then Uno's Pizzeria, where they get to make some pizza. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow morning. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
A second.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.